Yeah, so actually looking at some of the practice stats, just last night after practice, we have been going for 7 days now, and it's been good. The last two practices have been the best two practices, so that's good. We have actually a scrimmage coming up tomorrow, and we're excited about getting to see someone else on the other side of the net, for a little while. But the girls have been working really hard, and so getting better with each practice, practicing harder, more intentional, has been really, really good to see. Yeah, when you think about, when you say small numbers, they are small in comparison to our big sophomore class. We have 10 in that class, but those three, they'll probably tell you if you ask them that they're probably coach's favorites, because coach is, my first recruiting class, and they are special. I'm very thankful for the work that they have put in for us over the last 3 years. And man, they've seen a lot of different types of environments here, just early on in a program, and the structure and the culture that you're trying to build. You go through some tough times, but then they've had some good times too. We've had some of the more winning seasons since Union has gone Division II, and so they have seen those. And then last year was a little bit of a struggle, but I think all of that goes together to help us just kind of grow, together and grow closer. Anytime you go through those challenging times, it's good. And those girls they're really special to me personally. I'm just very, very thankful for them. Well, the character of those girls is really good too. They're great in the classroom. We recently did some surveys on our team, and the team talked about how the quality of those girls, not just them, but those specifically, were really thankful for the way that they treated everyone, the way they welcomed everyone, and that's good to hear as a coach, because that's what we've been trying to cultivate the last few years since I've been here. So they're invaluable. I can't put really a number on it. I'm going to miss them a lot when they're gone, and I'm very thankful for the time they put in here. It'll be interesting to see. I kind of joke with, I was talking to Abby just today actually, and how we've been through some tough times. We've already shed some tears, some good ones and some bad ones, but I'm just really thankful for them. And on senior night, I'm sure it will be challenging. Not just those girls, but like their families. I've really gotten close to them over the years, and that's part of the recruiting process that I really enjoy. And I think that that's maybe a strength of our recruiting style is, we really talk a lot about family, and I hope that those girls and those families feel that way too. So yeah, it ought to be an interesting senior night this year, and I'm looking forward to that. Not trying to rush it away by any means, but I think that it's going to be a special year in part because of them and their leadership and what they've committed and done for the program. Yeah, so those girls have been really unique. They've really challenged me to look at recruiting in some different ways. For Abby, for example, Abby was recruited as an outside, played her freshman year as an outside. We had some needs and had some injuries her sophomore year, and had to move her to the middle, and she had a great year in the middle. She did have shoulder surgery in the off season, and kind of struggled to get back to where she could swing a lot, and so we ended up moving her to a libero position last year, which, if when you know much about volleyball, the middle blocker position and the libero position really could not be much more different. But she's done a really good job of transitioning there. And Audrey and Kristen can play multiple positions too. Kristen has played DES for us. She's now competing at outside. Audrey set some for us last year. She was a libero her first year with us. So they're really unique in that those three girls have played a lot of different positions and competed really, really well in all of those for us. So they've really challenged us to look at players that we're bringing in who can play multiple positions, and we've got that in this freshman group, specifically with a few girls that can play right side or middle or outside, setter or DS. So they've made a big impact on not just the girls that they played with for a few years, but those that are coming in the next few as well. Yeah. So our sophomore class, several of those girls played a lot last year, but the more I'm around that group, more I see how special they are on the court and in their character. That group is just really unique and special. We had 10 girls last year in that class, and odds are, a lot of those may not come back, but they did. And that's what I think is really neat about that group is they've stayed close, they've stayed committed, they've worked hard. And then the incoming freshman class is really tough too. I think, the two younger classes that we have, make up a large part of our roster, and I think they're going to have a big impact on our roster as well, not just in their numbers, but in their productivity. Emily Grace Calhoun, I think, is going to be a very valuable player to us. She's currently competing in the middle. I think she could play, left side or right side if we needed her to, and is willing to do that. That's what's cool. Is yeah, as coach, I just want to play. That's what she tells us. Jordan Vick is an incoming setter who is competing right now for time on the court with our sophomore setter, Clarissa Kohler. So, we're young in that position, but I like both of those girls. They're really doing a really nice job and growing and competing each time in practice. So yeah, we're going to have a lot of young faces that some are going to be seen for the first time. Some are going to be seen, that were starting last year. But I think, they're just continuing to grow, and I'm excited about, what we're going to see on the court this year. I feel very strongly that we are going to be a tournament team this year. We have recently talked about performance goals and things like that, and that's one that any team in colleges wants to have that as a goal, and that's definitely going to be one of ours. Our preseason ranking reflects that the other coaches see us as a 10 seed, and quite frankly, that's probably what I would have voted for on ourselves if we were allowed to, just because of last year's finish. But I can already tell that this team is different than any of the other teams I've coached here, and quite frankly, probably a little bit different than any other team I've ever coached anywhere I've coached. I think they have the potential to be really, really good in this league, and I'm just excited, to be along for the ride with them and to see what this team kind of transforms into this year. I think going through some challenging times over the last year, but also some opportunities to grow too. Us getting to go and do some mission work. Anytime you do things like that with a team, it creates an environment where you bond, and the majority of the team was able to go do that. So we're really excited about the future. We're excited about going to practice tonight and competing tomorrow. So just looking forward to see what happens with this group. Well, this year we talk a lot about our core values, and even though we try to operate under that premise or that umbrella in years past, we really are being intentional with what we're saying and what we're showing them this year as far as what we want to focus on. And our core values this year are faith in Christ, family, grit, and gratitude. And we are kind of a symbol for us is an umbrella, with faith in Christ being above those other three things. And so if that's the approach that we're taking, then we're realizing that we have to be intentional when we talk about, well, what does that mean? What is faith? So we try to live that out as coaches. I do. And we've got some great people that are along our sides with us. We've got a local FCA person who comes in and spends time with our girls and just loves on them. It's Miss Angela Snyder, and she's actually has her first session with them tonight. She's already texted the girls today and is excited about meeting with them and just investing in them and pouring into them, spiritually. So as a coach, it's nice to have someone like that to come alongside of us and to help us, go through this process with them. As a coach of the sport here, faith has to be at the very top of what we're trying to do. We want to be competitive and all those things too. But that doesn't mean that every young lady that comes here has that background. So we look at our team as a mission-oriented process as well. Not just going out and doing things, but also investing in those girls that we bring alongside here. So we're just really thankful to be at a place like Union that allows us to speak openly about Christ and what He's done in our life, and what He can do in the lives of young people, because this is such an impactful time of their life that if we can invest spiritually and help them grow right now, it's amazing what God can use them for after their college career is over with. So we don't take that lightly at all. Matter of fact, that's the most important job that we have here, and we hope we can win some games along the way too. So.